Okay, guys, here is the exit ticket for task 3 for today. The directions say Coach Taylor asked his team to record the distance they ran during practice. The distances are listed in the table. The first question is asking us to create a line plot. Before we can do 1, 2, or 3, we need to take a look at this table to determine if we need to change any of these fractions. I'm going to use the magnifying glass tool to zoom in and take a look at the chart. All right, so starting with Alec at the top, we have 1 3/4 miles. Then we have 1 1/2 miles. Notice the denominators don't match. Then we look at Charles, we have 2 1/8 miles. Then we've got 4, 4, and 2. You could do this a couple of different ways. What I like to do is I like to find the mixed number that has the highest denominator. So here we have 8, and then you could change the rest of the fractions to match. Another strategy would be to use the denominator that comes up most often. So we have 3 fractions here that all have a denominator of 4, and then you could change the other fractions to match. No matter what option you choose, you're going to have to change a lot of fractions. But let's use 2 1/8 as our model here, and we're going to figure out a way to change the rest of these fractions to have denominators of 8 using multiplication rules. So over here, I'm going to keep my whole, just like we did in task 2, the wholes stay the same. And then I'm going to figure out how to turn 3/4 into a new fraction that has a denominator of 8. The rule here to get to 8 is 4 times 2. If it's on the bottom, it also has to be on the top. So we have 3 times 2, which means our new numerator is going to be 6. I'm going to use a new color here to show that the new mixed number is 1 6/8. Oh, that's so challenging to write with. Oh, okay, so 1 6/8, Alec's new distance. Then you're going to do the same thing for your others. So we're not going to change this one, but we're going to change all the other ones that are unmarked. Put my equal sign, get a new denominator of 8, find the rule. 2 times what equals 8? Well, 2 times 4. If we have it on the bottom, we also have to have it on the top. Times 4, which means our new numerator here is 4. I'm going to change colors, which means we have a new mixed number, keeping this whole the same, of 1 4/8. 4 over 8. All right, 2 done. We have 3 more to go. You're going to keep the one whole. You're going to find a new fraction here. It gives you a denominator of 8. Same thing here. You're going to find a rule. We'll change this fraction to a denominator of 8. You're going to keep the whole, which is 2. And then the last one down here, you're going to change it so that it has a denominator of 8. And you're going to keep the whole, which is 2. So for these 3, you need to find the rule, figure out your numerator, and then add your fraction next to these numbers here. Okay, I'm not going to do the rest for you. You're going to do those on your own. Once you're done, I'll zoom back out here, you'll be ready to create your line plot. So I'm going to start by putting some lines on either side. Looking at my fractions, I know that there aren't any numbers here that are less than 1. So I'm going to start my line plot at 1. Then I'm looking here, well, I have wholes of 2, which means that my midpoint is likely going to be 2. And my endpoint is going to be 3. Because our denominators are 8, that means that every line in between these numbers is an 1/8. So you'll make 7 lines here in between 1 and 2, and then in between 2 and 3. And then you're going to mark with X's each of your points. Then it's asking you a question here. It says some of the teammates ran 1 3/4 miles. How many miles did those team members run combined? So you have to find the team members that ran 1 3/4 miles, or whatever the equivalent fraction is to 1 3/4 miles, and then you're going to combine them. Using what we know about math keywords, combined is going to tell us to add. So you're going to have to add up the total distances of all the people that ran 1 3/4 miles. The last question is asking you about the difference. What is the difference in length between the longest and the shortest distances? So you're going to look for the longest distance, which is going to be your number that's closest to 3 on your line plot. And then you're going to subtract that from your shortest distance, which will be the number closest to 1. So your bigger number should go first, minus your smaller number. So hopefully these tips help you. Go ahead and give those a try and see if you can figure this one out.